Howdy mates, good evening. How are we today on this Friday, June 7th, 2024? I've officially made it into the state of Nebraska, and we're at the northwest portion of the state. We've once again returned back into the plains. However, though, surrounding us, we do have our historic structures along with some buttes in the background. Welcome to the Fort Robinson State Park, which has a historical significance that dates clear back towards just after the Civil War. It was helped established by the Red Cloud Agency, which was an Indian agency for the United States, and it was used as sort of an outpost. However, though, during the time, there were Lakota as well as Cheyenne, indigenous nations that were still inhabiting this area. So during the year of 1868 was when the camp was established, because this place was not always called Fort Robinson. And to boot, this place was named after Lieutenant Robinson, who was basically killed in action in 1874. And so this place was named after him in honor of that. Well, in honor of his name, not, of course, him getting killed by Lakota. And the other particular significance that happens here was about 3 years later, in 1877, which was when a well-known Lakota Oglala warrior, Crazy Horse, was here. He surrendered, along with up to several hundred other tribal members. However, a couple of months later, as it was entering into September, I think they were trying to come up with some kind of negotiations between the U.S. Army and the tribes, and apparently there was some kind of mistranslation on what Crazy Horse said. And so, after an attempted escape, Crazy Horse was killed. And for those of you who don't know about Crazy Horse, he's very well revered in indigenous history as one of the greatest warriors of all time, even at such a young age. And he was also, as I mentioned, Lakota. As a matter of fact, there's even a memorial that is dedicated to him that is getting carved out in the granite at South Dakota, near Mount Rushmore. But a couple of other events that happened here were when the Cheyenne tribes were captured and imprisoned here, and quite a bit of them were able to escape, and that became known as the Cheyenne Outbreak. And that occurred during the year of 1879. But it wouldn't be until December 29th of 1890 that the massacre at Wounded Knee would occur. And that ultimately put an end to the conflicts between the United States, along with the Sioux, Lakota, and even the Cheyenne. And that was actually not too far from here, as a matter of fact. It's just north. actually near the Badlands National Park. You could say, in a sense, during this trip, I've kind of done a loop. Kind of. And I forgot to mention, another significance about Crazy Horse was he was involved in the war of the Battle of Little Bighorn, which was where ultimately General Custer winded up losing the battle, and that's where he met his end. Crazy Horse was indeed involved in that war. I forgot to mention that tidbit. Anywho, there is indeed a decent amount of history here, and that's just a condensed version. Alright, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.